Hey, so welcome to your first piano lesson. I know you can't see my face. Promise I'm here. I think it's more important that you see the keyboard. Go ahead and sit at your keyboard if you haven't already, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So first thing I want you to notice, if you don't know anything about the piano, is that there is a pattern, right? There's a pattern of a 2 black note pattern and then 3 black notes. Now, something that I make all my students do, and you can go ahead and do this too, is find all the groups of 2 black notes on the piano and play them. And then find all the groups of 3 black notes on the piano and play those. Just kind of to get you aware of keyboard geography. The black notes are kind of how we figure out, where the notes are. So to find middle C, if you've ever heard that expression before, you can't find middle C, well, let's find middle C. You find the 2 black notes in the middle of the piano, and middle C is right to the left of that, right? So this is middle C. All right, and below C is B, and below B is A. So here we have A, B, C, and it goes just like the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You can go ahead and play through that a few times. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And something else that's really helpful is, just like we found all the groups of 2 black notes or 3 black notes on the piano, go through and see if you can find all of the C's or all of the A's. That's something that you can do that I think is really helpful in getting you to know. I make kids do that. I make adults do that when I teach adults. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to play Adele's Hello. And I've kept hinting at this this trick that is going to help you play piano in minutes, and it's totally true. You're going to see exactly what I mean. So I want you to take your thumb and find A, right? You can find middle C if you get lost. Go down 2 notes to A. Okay? Now, Adele's song, I want you to play all these notes with your thumb as they go. And I want you to kind of see if you can get with me in the same rhythm. A, C, G, F. And just play everything with your thumb. A, C, G, F. Again. A, C, G, F. A, C, G, F. Okay, all with your thumb. The reason that we're doing that all with our thumb is now I want you to use your pinky. And every time you play a note with your thumb, you're going to play the note that is 5 notes away from wherever you're playing. So in this case, it would be A, B, C, D, E. Okay? And then when you move up to C, now your pinky is going to be on a G. So again, A, C, right? And now we're including what's called a 5th away from these notes. A, C, and then do the same thing down here. G, F. Okay, do that a few times with me. And play them both down at the same time. No kind of sloppiness there. You want a nice clean sound. Again. Again. Okay. Once you've memorized that pattern, you are pretty much playing Hello by Adele. I'll prove it to you. Hello, it's me. I was wondering if after all these years you'd like to meet to go over everything. They say time's supposed to heal us, but I ain't done much yet. And then the second verse and on, right? It's that same pattern over and over, right? Okay, so you can think in your mind A, C, G, F, okay? And that's pretty much that part of the song. There is, a little bit different later on when we get to the chorus. So she goes, there's a distance between us. You know that part right before the chorus? And then she goes, and a million miles. So that part, million miles, think A, G, F. And a million miles. Okay? All right, so let's just do right up to the chorus, because the chorus is a little bit different as well, even though it's a pretty similar pattern. All right, see if you can play it right along with me. Hello, it's me. I was wondering if after all these years you'd like to meet to go over everything. They say time's supposed to heal ya, but I ain't done much healing. Right, and da-da, whatever the words are. I'm in California wondering about who was supposed to be something, something. You can tell I know the lyrics really well. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. There is sight between us. And here's the million miles. And a million miles. Okay, now in the chorus, and I know the words better here, and I'm sure you do too. You just changed that. We've now played 4 sets of notes, right? We started on A, C, G, F. Now instead we're going to go A, F. This down here is an F, right? A going backwards in the alphabet, starting with G here, G, F. Hello from the outside. Now up to C. I must have called 1,000 times to tell you I'm sorry for ever breaking your heart, but doesn't tear you apart anymore. And then goes back. Okay? So here's the chorus again, right? The order is reversed a little bit. Hello from the outside. I must have called 1,000 times to tell you I'm sorry for ever breaking your heart. Okay, good. So you can see that, it's really just a pattern of 4 different chords repeating over and over. Okay, so moving on. One way I think you can spice it up is add the note in the middle. So instead of playing 1 and 5, you add a 3. You add the middle finger into each of these, what we call chords. Chords is just a group of notes being played together. If you can't do that, I know it's probably a little bit difficult, but you can totally stick to the 1 and 5. I'm just saying if you're really comfortable with that and you want to kind of spice it up a little bit. And then the next thing you can do is add the A below it. So take the lowest note in these chords and play the same note down here, right? So my left hand is going to mirror what my right hand is doing, what my thumb is doing. C, and then G, and then F. And then when you get to the chorus, same thing. Hello from the outside. Okay, so now we're going to move on a little bit and talk about, I promised you hundreds of pop songs, right? We only got through 1. We went pretty quickly. And yeah, you can play it and everything, but the secret is that this set of chords or same thing in the chorus here with from the outside. If you could probably sing some other songs along with these chords as well, like this one. It's too late to apologize. It's too late. One Republic, right? How about I'm your biggest fan. I'll follow you until you love me, Paparazzi. We got a Lady Gaga song going on. And really, you can play so many. There's so many songs that use the same pattern. So, I teach some courses online, and what I do in those courses is I show you the theory behind how to figure out those chords, how to build a skeleton structure around simple 3-note patterns and 4-note chord patterns, right? And how you can apply that and play it in so many different ways and play so many different songs with it. As well, you can kind of get bored pretty quickly, I know, going through these, and you certainly don't have to. You can do something like this. And you're like, whoa, how are you doing all that stuff? Well, what I'm doing is I'm just taking those 3 notes and I'm playing them all over the piano. So here I have an ACE, right? And way down here I have the same ACE. And you'll notice that these patterns are all over the piano. And so I'm starting with A right here, and then I'm changing it to F. And I'm just following the same pattern of whatever is in the lowest note and what makes up these 3 notes that are called a chord, and playing it all over the piano. And all of a sudden, this really simple pattern of this becomes this. And that's what I'm talking about how, really at its base, how easy it is to play these patterns of pop music and to make them sound pretty. It's just 3-note chords repeated over and over and in different patterns all over the piano. And so in this online course that I teach called Play Pop Music by Ear, I show you, the skeleton structure of these chords. We give them numbers like we do in music theory. This is the kind of stuff that I teach my college students. The basic stuff. We don't get too advanced because you really don't need to get that advanced to learn this stuff. And then I also teach you how to take these simple patterns and dress them up. Step by step, I give you exercises on how to build from this to build it to this. Right? Playing notes all up and down the piano and making yourself sound like Liberace or Adele's pianist, right? So it really is, even though it sounds, man, he's playing a lot of notes, and yeah, I am, and I've been playing piano a lot of years and making it sound pretty, but really all I'm doing at the core is taking these chords, the ones that we talked about, and how to play Adele's Hello, and I repeated them in lots of patterns across the piano. Let's go to the board and I'll show you, really how far you can take this. Great, so I know we went pretty quick through that. If you really want to get good at this, I would take some time on your own, go through, find all the C's, find all the D's, like I was saying, and then practice finding Adele's Hello, or Apologize, or the Lady Gaga song in different places on the piano. I gave you 3 songs there that you could play with that pattern, but actually there is so much more. And in the PDF that I've given you with this lesson, there's some other songs you'll see that you can use to play that pattern. Maybe it won't sound super fancy, but really you're kind of laying the foundation of what those songs are made up of. So that's really what I wanted to drive home right now, is that all of these songs that you hear on the radio, they're really made up of simple patterns. When somebody plays music by ear, they're not listening to every single note and picking them apart. They're just listening to patterns of chords that you hear over and over and over. And after you hear them and recognize them a few times, you're able to take those patterns and learn how to play by ear. And it is a little bit difficult at first. I do recognize that. I'm not trying to say that that's the easiest thing in the world and everyone should be able to do that. But I found that with my students, if I just give them some simple instruction and we work on a few songs together, then they start bringing songs and showing me what they've figured out on their own. And I've had this experience time and time again, both with my students, at university, the private students that come to my house, and now that I do a lot of online teaching, I've had that experience with people like you, that come and they're like, wow, yeah, it's just like this. I can play this song and this Beatles song and this Taylor Swift song, and they're all kind of the same, and now I kind of recognize those patterns. So what I gave you with that Adele song is really, just a taste of what you can do. And then once you recognize those patterns, then you can build on them, right? You have like a foundation, and then you can put all those flowery notes and make it sound really beautiful. So right now, I just created this course, Play Pop Music by Ear, in my Lessons with Dr. Kelly website. And like I said, most people that I've met, they don't really want to be able to play Mozart, Beethoven, stuff like that. They just want to be able to play Beatles. They want to be able to hear a song and sit down at the piano and play it. And I go through that in this course. I show you how to pick out a melody, how you can use a similar numbering system to pick out a melody, and how we use trial and error to figure out how to play whatever someone's singing. And then actually way more easy than that, what we did here with Hello, figure out the chords, right? So anyway, when I did private lessons, and I still do some private lessons from time to time, I ended up, when I kind of slowed down a little bit, I was charging $100 an hour for somebody to come take a lesson with me. So let's say you wanted to, take private lessons with me over the internet, and you were paying, $100 an hour for all of this information. So, if you spend, a month, that's $400 a month. And if you spend a year taking lessons with me, you would spend almost $5,000. It's a big chunk of change. And I don't say this to brag. I think there's a lot of great piano teachers, that don't charge enough, and some piano teachers who charge way too much. But this is just kind of what I charge for the kind of thing that I teach in this course. So you could spend that, and you could spend close to $5,000 a year. And so what I've done is I've taken information really that it takes about a year to go through all this information if you were to study privately with me and we were to go in depth the way I do in this course. And I'm offering it to the public, to people, for $197. So really, so this is what I'm offering the course for, $197. You can sign up here on this page, and but that's really not all. I'm kind of, when I start a new course like this, what I like to do is I like to make sure people know exactly what's going on. A lot of people these days are comfortable with learning online, and this is a steal and a no-brainer. I know some of you though might think, well, what if I get lost? What if I don't really understand? Well, first of all, I make it really simple. I go very slow. I understand. I know how it is to teach a beginner. I've taught hundreds of beginners, literally, how to play the piano, and within months they're playing songs. And but I understand that it's kind of scary, especially if you've had a bad experience before. And so what I've done is I've started a program called Office Hours that's optional for anybody who takes any one of my courses. And what Office Hours does is, you guys have had professors, at universities. They keep office hours so that if you have any questions about what they've talked about in class, you can come and ask, and they'll give you feedback or whatever you need, right? Answer your questions. And so I've started this program, and what I do is I hold weekly webinars. So anybody who has questions can get on this webinar and ask a question, and I'll be right there in person answering them, with the piano. You could even send me video clips if am I doing this right, or whatnot. And so obviously I can't do this for every person who signs up for this course. I have a lot of people whenever I release a course. I've done it a few times on the web, and usually pretty successful. I have a lot of people who sign up, and you'll see the reviews at the bottom of this page. A lot of great feedback. So I can't do this for everybody who signs up to my course for free. So usually what I do is people who feel like they need the extra help. For office hours, I'll charge $57 a month. And that's just so I don't get overwhelmed. So this course, Play Music by Ear, it's newer, and I just want to make sure that my first group of students, my core group of students, are really happy with it. So what I'm going to do is for the first 25 people who sign up for my course and start my course, I will hold for 3 months. I'm going to hold office hours for free for you guys. Like I said, I can't do this for everybody. I'm only going to accept 25. Even 25 is, it's quite a bit, to be honest. And if I need to, if we run long in office hours, I'll pick another day. But yeah, I'll probably pick sometime during the day and then sometime during the evening, depending on, you'll probably get an email, a couple emails telling you when office hours is. And then for those of you who can't make it to the office hours, I will always send you a replay of what we went over, so you can go over that pretty quick and get back to playing the piano. So, I promise that this course, Play Piano by Ear, is really good use of your time and money. I know your time and money is valuable, and I've spent so many hours teaching piano students and seen so many really find joy in being able to play songs that they love. So go ahead and sign up. Like I said, spots will probably go pretty quick. If you're seeing this video, it means that you're kind of in the group, that there is still spots available, which means we just started. So go ahead and sign up, and I will shoot you an email, and we will get started.